You want answers?
I think I'm entitled.
You want answers?
I want the truth!
You can't handle the truth.
Yes, you can. Welcome back to the Prepared Mind channel. It is Friday. Blasting out of the bunker, 0 dark 30, heading down the road. And folks, it's interesting. After you have 2 or 3 nights, or 2 or 3 hours of sleep at night, you get a little rest, your mind can relax, process all the information that's coming in, and start thinking about what it means, how to discover the facts, the truths, the parallels, etc. A thought occurred to me. I keep hearing these idiot Democrats, oh, it's hard not to hear them, wanting to get Trump off the ballot. But there's this quietness out there amongst other Democrats. For example, in California, they said, no, we aren't going to kick Trump off the ballot. And I'm thinking, why? Why wouldn't they want Trump off the ballot? And then it just occurred to me, a minor epiphany, if you will, nothing too grand, but worth considering. The sword can cut both ways, or the sword is two-edged. If it goes one way, it can cut. If it swings the other, it can cut just as deep, right? The return stroke on a sword sometimes can be more powerful than the initial strike. What I mean by that is the Democrats are trying to take Trump off the ballot. The Democrats are trying to silence speech. The Democrats are trying to use emergency powers to justify, excuse all manner of action they take. And I think they see Trump coming. I think they see that they'll try and they'll do everything they can to steal the election. But folks, it's not that easy. One moment and I'll explain. Yesterday, Klaus Schwab said, elections will be a thing of the past. You'll own nothing and be happy. These concepts or ideas are ideal. That's where they want to be. But from there to here, there's quite a distance. Can you convince humans that their thoughts don't matter? That you can just take their thoughts away? But you can fundamentally change who they are with a little brainwashing and propaganda, even some drugs. Well, I'll tell you what. I haven't changed a whole lot. I've always resisted these fuckers. Even back in first grade when they tried making us take fluoride, I did not like it. I did not like this idea of someone telling me I had to put something in my mouth and keep it in there and swish it around. And then I couldn't fucking spit it out and then I couldn't rinse it out. Well, I did all those things. And then they tried it again. I told them no. Child, folks. Even a child mind doesn't have to obey what it's told by a presumed authority figure. Okay, so now let's take that and apply it to life. These fuckers cannot convince everyone to lie down. They can't convince us that we aren't seeing what we see in election fraud and that we can live with nothing and eat fucking bugs, right? Therein lies the problem. Even putting the dirtiest of terminology to it. Oh, you insurrectionists. You rebels. This is a rebellion. You're rebelling against authority. I think Barry Goldwater said it very well. Extremism in the defense of liberty is no vice. Once you learn that, it's not such a bad thing. Now, I am no criminal. No. I love liberty, yes. I love my country. So I make and you make interesting foes for these people. So the sword cutting both ways. What are some of these authorities, these lawyers, are afraid of. What they're afraid of is, hear me out, they're afraid of a Trump victory, folks. They're afraid of an American victory. When an enemy is fighting you, they're not going to tell you what a great fucking job you're doing. They're not going to go, hey, well done. Way to stand up to our barrage, our blitzkrieg, our nuclear attack. They'll never tell you that you're doing a good job, because that would embolden you, strengthen you, increase your determination, tell you you're going in the correct direction, you're handling things well, keep going. No, the enemy always uses propaganda, lies, deceit, etc., to get you to give up, to defeat yourself from within before they defeat you on the battlefield. They're afraid of Trump, folks, because they're afraid of you. And they're afraid of you, and they fear Trump for it. The sword cuts both ways. If things get bad enough, if they go too damn far, and they're not certain of victory, they themselves can meet, right? A quick drop and a short stop on the end of some fibrous material. Meaning the sword cuts both ways. They want to be extremists and call for the most extreme actions, the most extreme conclusions. They could very well end up, folks, being subjected to their own pains. Meaning, communism, socialism, anti-Americanism could very well go to the other extreme, where anyone who believes as they do are criminalized, put in camps, exterminated. The conclusion that we, you and I, are destroying the earth and are only worthy of bugs, right, to eat and to own no property. They, anyone who thinks as they do, could suddenly find themselves divested of our own minerals and metals, their lives, their wealth. Their rights could evaporate as treasonous, terrorist, domestic enemies. And they know it. And they fear that more than everything. That is why they fear Trump getting in the White House so much. And why they accuse him of everything that they're doing. They're accusing him of everything they're doing because they fear that sword will come back and they'll get everything they've prescribed for us, and maybe even more. Like I said, in sword play, right, the return swing can be deceivingly powerful and destructive and misunderstood. The sword coming back around, rather than be a reset to defense, is turned to the offense. We're always on the defensive here. But what if our actions became offensive when put in a position to do so? They fear that so much, folks. The Democrats know it, and that is why some are trying to back off. Meanwhile, most of them are pushing ahead. They've revealed themselves now, folks. They've exposed themselves. They are a bunch of very, very mentally ill people. They are evil. They are un-American. They are treasonous. They are thieves. Look at everything they've done. They lie, they cheat, they steal. They're making the Declaration of Independence look like a children's fairy tale compared to the shit they are doing. And so I ask you, knowing that, what do you think their fear is? Being caught, held accountable is their fear. That they will lose power or the power will transfer, and they will be held accountable. The very thing that I call for constantly, accountability, that you call for, that you want, that you wish, that America needs, justice, is Hunter Biden accepting, acknowledging his crimes? Right? Isn't that a big part of the justice system? Is you recognize you're a criminal, you acknowledge it, you admit it, and ask for leniency, throw yourself on the mercy of the court. That is the will of the people, and say, please, you've caught me, I know I'm bad. So what do the Democrats do? They deny, they make up shit, they never admit anything. They're held totally unaccountable. And so, do they deserve mercy? Do they? Do they deserve mercy? What have they done to be given mercy? Anything? Or do they deserve far less? That's what I mean. The sword cuts, folks, both ways. They fear, many of them fear, that they're going to get what they have earned. They know what they've done, and they don't want to answer to it. So they fight even harder. And I think some of them realize, right, that it's not an easy victory, that they're not going to win, that they could be caught. What do you think happens to the rich when all this comes down? Someone like Mark Cuban, these Democrat billionaire scumbags, Mark Soros, George Soros types, Alexander Soros types, when they get caught. Bill Gates. It's not just tear down the statue, folks. It's take his DNA and all like it and just cooking it to a crisp so it can't be reproduced. What about the politicians? Can they hide in deep enough holes? What about the average voter who votes for this Democrat shit and believes in it? What about the media? Where does the media go? Where do they run? Where do they hide? How do they gain our trust back? Fat fucking chance. A new media has to come about, and the old has to be done away with. Right? It is a dead, dying husk. It's become poisonous, beyond toxic. They realize they too, folks, are subject to the sword. The media has cut America to ribbons. What does it deserve to get for it? In the past, I've described how the media stations, be they radio, television, satellite, will be overrun by patriots who will take back this country that way. It's going to be interesting, folks. That is the fear these Democrats have, why they're so fearful. Not because we're bad and evil, but because they know they deserve justice. What do you think? What's on your mind? Hey, chance favors the prepared mind, right? Is yours.